Base camp in the IPL this Sunday on ESPN Cricinfo Matchday T20. We're looking ahead to the Kolkata Knight Riders against the Chennai Super Kings. Two superstar teams, 5 titles between them. And the bigger question right now is, can Kolkata bounce back after what was an absolute mauling at the Chepauk 5 days back and avoid what looks like a losing streak for the Knight Riders? That's not something you get to say often. Chennai going good guns. They've got everything going right about them, which now puts me to Sean Tate and Murali Kartik in our studio. Welcome to Kartik in his nice formal avatar. It's been a while, I think, since I've seen you.
Oh man, trust me, I could never think that for T20 we would be all suited up.
Yeah, but that's just because this is what we're prioritizing T20 cricket now. This is the real deal. We'll be in our casuals for Test cricket.
That's what we were.
But this is what we're going to be in. Teddy, welcome to you too. News from the Eden Gardens. And Kartik, we tend to make a big deal out of tosses at the Eden Gardens given KKR's affinity to chase. And once again, under a little bit of pressure, they're going to be batting first. Thoughts on that?
I think it's the right choice. Having done a few games over there and over the last few years, the way the wickets have changed, under lights and with a little bit of dew, even if there's a semblance of it, it makes bowling very difficult and chasing very easy. And that's one of the reasons why, although it's pretty warm out there, teams end up bowling first.
Yeah, Chennai have decided to bowl first. Does that add any extra pressure on KKR, Teddy? You had questions about their bowling. Spinners aren't taking wickets.
Yeah.
Not quite sure who's raising their hand with the seam bowling. They're going to they have to defend a score again.
Yeah, we were talking, lead up to this game about it's probably not the greatest timing for Kolkata right now to be playing against Chennai. Mm-hmm. When you get a home game, the sort of form they're in, they're not quite sure. We're not quite sure how they're going about it, and they're going to play probably the informed team, I suppose you could argue and say Chennai, the top team. At home. So I think right now, and then obviously losing the toss, I think Chennai right now have the upper hand.
All right, let's have a look at teams. MS Dhoni confirms no changes from the team that won in dramatic fashion at the Savai Man Singh Stadium a few days back. That could have been a case to see if Harbhajan Singh could fit back in, bowl well against KKR in Chennai, Kartik. But are you happy he's gone with the same team? No place for Scott Kugelheim either.
Look, with regards to Harbhajan Singh, I was in Jaipur and he was struggling with a stiff neck.
Okay.
So I don't know whether he's gotten past it.
So assuming he's not fully fit then,
I think
if
I'm
it's only
very
a case
happy.
between Mitchell Santner versus Kugelheim, would you have been tempted to play the extra seam at Kolkata?
No, I've always been a big fan of Mitchell Santner, and in a place like that, I think he's a canny enough bowler with his all-round skills, his fielding abilities and his batting prowess and everything. I would always go for a spinner. The spinners generally concede lesser runs than the fast bowlers, and against the likes of Andre Russell and Brathwaite, I would rather have the spin rather than Scott Kugelheim.
That's actually not a bad call.
That's
and
your call.
It's hard to leave somebody out who's won you, hit you 6 of the last ball to win a game.
To be fair, I mean, that's we sort of laugh about it, but that's probably, to be fair, well, he's got a bit of confidence as well after that.
Yeah.
You hit a 6 off the last ball to win the game for your team. It's almost like give him the next game, throw him the ball because his confidence might still be up with his bowling as well. So yeah, not a bad choice.
Yeah, funnily his numbers in T20 in IPL cricket aren't great for Mitchell Santner, whereas for New Zealand and for the teams he plays for, he does it exceptionally well. And also there was a missed chance. So I'm a big fan of Mitchell Santner, the cricketer.
It's a huge show of faith that they had him retained after not playing a game last season, Mitch Santner. But it seems like anybody just pops up and does the job for Chennai. Whoever you need in the situation is doing a job for them. Kolkata Knight Riders, they did have a significant number of their overseas contingent missing the last game against Delhi. Some of them returned. Chris Lynn and Sunil Narayan are back. That would mean a reshuffle. So Joe Denley's IPL stint is only going to last 1 ball right now. Sunil Narayan's back. Carlos Brathwaite goes out. Harry Gurney comes in. Lockie Ferguson goes out. Terry, let's start with Harry Gurney's call. It was interesting that Dinesh Karthik made a tactical choice of Lockie Ferguson. He's gone back to Gurney.
Yeah, I was surprised that they made that choice in the first place. I thought leave Harry in there for a period, get him used to this competition. I think he can have a big impact. I'm not saying he's an impact player, but he can certainly play a really good role. He's hard to get away. He can bowl good at the death. So I like to see him in that team at all times.
All right, if you're watching on our Facebook Live, get involved because this is one call that Dinesh Karthik is still trying to figure out which one works best for him. Harry Gurney had a man of the match performance on debut, but he has been used tactically.
He was
since.
put on the gurney after that.
Yes or no? Those are your reactions to get busy with. Kartik, what about the return of Lin and Narayan? Obviously, big boost in terms of experience, but has that combination worked as well as KKR would have liked them to this season?
Yeah, welcome return for Sunil Narayan, but Chris Lin has not been in the best of form this season. Yes, sometimes you want to show that kind of faith. That's exactly why CSK have done well, even though there might be a few people faltering. But that show of faith is what turns things around in a T20 format, because there are players out there going to try and do things. Somebody like a Chris Lin plays high-octane cricket only because of the fact that he's got the license to do it. And in the process, if you're not having a great time, you might get out. So if you have that show of faith, it is good. It's a vote of confidence for the batsman. Yeah, having said that, there'll also be that school of thought that somebody like a Shubman Gill is wasted at number 7.
Sure.
Is he an explosive player, or is he somebody who's a touch artist who can change gears once he is set? So that kind of thought is also there, but this is something which has worked for KKR, and I think that's why they're going to try and still stick to it.
Okay, we'll come to that discussion of Shubman Gill in detail in just a bit, because I know it's tempting for a lot of us to watch more of Shubman Gill. Let's focus on our first match day match point, and that's Chennai returning to a ground that they don't quite have the happiest records in. Now we just have a look at their numbers, and they've actually lost more than they've won in the IPL at the Eden Gardens, which is not something you can say about the Super Kings at any other ground in the country. So they have a 50% record at Mumbai. They've lost 6. 4 of those are to Kolkata. 2 of those are finals to Mumbai in the IPL. Just a 40% track record. I'm trying to figure if there's a reason that this Chennai team haven't quite worked in the Eden Gardens. Can you think of anything, Kartik, as to why Chennai at the Eden Gardens hasn't been a match made in heaven?
Possibly with the venue changing or the wicket changing. I don't
yes.
think the spinners have been helped too much, because they have relied heavily on spin. People like Ravindra Jadeja become venomous once the wicket has something in it for them. And I feel the kind of bowlers they've had, Bravo also again becomes deadly if the wicket starts stopping and coming. I think on a true surface like Eden Gardens, I don't think that has worked well for them, is my
so in which
initial
case,
feeling.
in which case again, the team that they've picked today is relying on what they know, the spin. They don't want to boost the seam and bring in a Kugelin. So they're still going by the CSK.
They're still going
manual.
by that. Yeah, they are going by that manual, because that's what they do. That's what they go.
It's a long flight from Chennai to Kolkata too, isn't it?
That's
long,
Actually, it's a long flight to Kolkata from anywhere.
It's a long
An hour
way.
and 20. No, an hour and 20.
Really?
An hour and 20.
Hour and 20.
Is it really?
Yeah, an hour and 20
That's
along
on the other side, isn't it?
He's counting the time it takes these days. You have to get there 2 hours early.
The flight's always delayed out of
At the
Chennai as well.
airport, there's too much congestion. Stop making fun of India, Terry.
No,
You're half Indian now.
I had a
He's
shocking
more
delay
Indian.
out of Chennai once.
He's more Indian.
Right. So it's not happy hunting at the Eden Gardens. Quick refresher of your memory of Chennai's games at Kolkata. Now, obviously, there are those 2 years off in 2016 and 17. They lost last year by 6 wickets. And they've lost to Mumbai twice. And just looking at that right-hand side column, how many times have they batted first 3 times. So that's one thing you keep in mind. And they've also chased twice. Both of those times were to Mumbai. So that could be one difference.
They're all easy. They're all floggings by looking at it as well.
Yeah,
They're decent losses.
Couple of IPL finals in that too didn't quite go their way. 2013 was a year that they just didn't seem up for it in that final.
Even in Mumbai, they don't play well.
Yeah.
Very similar wicket, because small boundary and the wicket not too conducive to spinners nowadays.
I guess
as it used to be.
What that does is it again tempts that conversation of Chennai. Good team, but no one's given them 180 to chase. You know, Mumbai gave them 170 to chase and they fell short, which is their only loss in a chase this year. They've gotten over the line against Rajasthan. They got over the line against Bangalore with not much to do. Delhi as well. You'd love to see that. Just to test this Chennai team, maybe a 180 would be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, the kind of players they had. The other day I was talking to Ambati Raidu and I was like, you need to be opening. And he's like, no, I'm happy where I am. Because of the fact that last year, his resurgence in form, his comeback into the Indian team was on the number of runs he got along with Shane Watson. So if those two don't fire, then it's a lot of responsibility on the likes of Kedar Jadhav and MS Dhoni. So in the game against Rajasthan Royals, once they faltered, it's a big thing. So once that happens, then you're never chasing a big target.
Are you a fan of Ambati Raidu at the top or in the middle? Because now you've got Faf du Plessis in that team. So you've got, another team which has a lot of top order options.
I mean, to be honest, that's a hard one. I mean, I think you can probably put him down the order a little bit. But either way, he's fine, I think. But yeah, I mean, Again, I think down the order there, he's more than capable. So.
Kartik, would you want Raidu at the top? Or are you, in this makeup, do you think it's okay to have him?
Look, if you're trying to accommodate Faf, then he has to come down the order. But if Faf is not there, then obviously Ambati Raidu can come up top, because Shane Watson did have a great understanding with Raidu, the way they went about, and even over here, because even Shane Watson has not hit all cylinders at the moment. So once he hits that, then he's a different game altogether, ball game altogether.
Sure. All right. We'll come to detail in that as well when we discuss CSK's batting. Just showing you this complete propensity to want to put teams into bat, and losing the toss and put into bat. The record of the Eden Gardens, KKR have played 24 and they've won 10 and lost 14. So it's a significant difference to when KKR have to chase, where their win percentage shoots up remarkably. But now that the responsibility is on their batting, let's focus on that topic we just discussed a little earlier. How can they possibly go about their batting order after the promise Shubman Gill scored in the last game against Delhi? We'll show you Shubman Gill's very attractive flashcard as well, which tells you all the relevant numbers you need. There you go. Strike rate of 140 against pace and nearly 137 against spin. Power play numbers good. Middle overs all right. Death not bad. How would you best like Shubman Gill to be used, Kartik, looking at this KKR batting lineup?
Look, with Chris Lynn back in the squad, obviously he does go back, but I would still want to see him at number 3 or number 4. Robin Uthappa again has to up the ante, because he's been there for too long a time, and you can't be chewing up too many deliveries for the capability which Robin has. I think he can't be going at 110 or 105.
So can there be a different role for Robin Uthappa? Because what happens to him in the 11 if you're putting, say, Shubman at 3 and maybe Nitish Rana at 4?
I would say Shubman at 4. I would say Shubman at 4, because Nitish Rana is more an attacking player from the word go. Dinesh Karthik can always be a floater. Andre Russell can always be a floater. But I feel somebody like a Shubman Gill is wasted. At number 7, yes, he does play. He can hit a 6 or the very first ball, he goes. But still, you want that young player who's got so much oodles of talent to showcase it, which will better the team. Because that's what KKR need. They don't want a talent like Shubman Gill not doing anything. The return on investment is nothing if he's just sitting idle in the dugout.
Yeah, let's just have a look at some numbers. I'll get Sean Tate's thoughts on this too. Terry, it's almost, we're looking at top 4, 1 to 4, Shubman Gill striking at 150 and below, striking at 135. It's a small sample size, it's just 4 innings, but we've seen the promise that Shubman has got. It's these old stories in sport, right? You've got one cricketer like Uthappa who's been a legend for KKR, prolific run getter, but you could say in the third quarter of his career. And you've got Shubman Gill, who you know is capable of big things. How do you find the balance?
To me, it's an absolute no-brainer. He's got to go above Uthappa. I think he's number 3, and I think, okay, if there's space for both of them, 3, 4, fine. But I think now with Robbie, you can almost... Early on in the IPL, he was almost a number 6 guy that came in and finished off the innings. Why can't he continue to do that now, later in his career? There's no reason why he can't. So, Shubman Gill, I'd build that franchise around that player.
I think there was a time when he was harbouring a comeback into the Indian team when he was playing for Pune Warriors and stuff like that, and he wanted to open.
He wanted to get back in there.
And he was striking at 100, 110. It was only under Gautam's regime, captainship, that he was... his strike rate went up. His strike rate went up. Now I think under Dinesh Karthik, it's come back to... Because the thing with Robin is that he looks good and then suddenly plays a stupid shot. And how many times have we seen him do that? That's why I feel somebody of his talent and his hitting ability, as he said, he can be used at a different spot where when you go in, this is what you have to do, nothing else. And that's why I feel Shubman Gill is wasted and he should be...
I mean, a couple of years back when KKR decided to go with this Lynn and Narayan thing, it was almost to balance out Uthappa and Gautam Gambhir, who used to take a little time. If he has to go back to a middle role to say, let's just go and finish the game or go big, is that a harder adjustment at this point?
No, I don't think so.
Or do you think he should manage it?
I don't think so. I think he should be able to. Because, see, at the end of the day, a bowler is never asked, will you bowl the 13th over or the 14th over? You're given the ball and you're supposed to do a job. So similarly, a batsman who's been batting for such a long time, number 3 or number 4, not a big deal, I feel. It's just the mindset with which you go there and what you want to do.
Arguably, he made his name, I think, at Bangalore, batting at
Bangalore
6.
At 6. Bangalore at 6.
So why not go back there?
That's why he went for so much money the next year when the next auction came.
So it's not like never has Robin Uthappa ever batted in the middle order. And this is a different variation of that game that he's playing with Carlos Brathwaite and Cyrus Brocha when we caught up with the KKR boys.
Never have I ever faked an upset stomach to skip practice.
No, never.
But have you ever faked something? Excuse?
No, not really.
No? Just gone for practice every single time?
Yeah.
Close on both of them, please. Next one. Never have I ever dozed off at a team briefing.
Definitely have.
Come on, Robbie. Ricky is fine
I
with the
have,
two.
I actually have.
Was it at KKR?
No, not KKR. No, not KKR.
Ricky? When was it? West Indies or
comment.
KKR?
No comment.
No comment. You're almost an Indian now. You've learned our ways. All right. Never have I ever played a prank on a senior teammate. On a senior. Not just anyone.
I have.
I haven't. No.
No?
No.
Because here you'll be punished.
Yeah, you know how it goes.
But back in the Caribbean, it's okay.
It was on Joe Garner as well.
Are you?
Oh, really?
And?
As a 15-year-old.
Oh man, what'd you do?
Didn't end well.
Oh, come on. You have to tell us.
We got some toothpaste and some hair gel and stuff. And put it all into one. And then pasted him on the train. It was actually in India as well.
And? How?
It didn't end well. I'm not at liberty to share what he said.
Oops. Oops.
But yeah, it was rough. It was rough.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
That's crazy, dude.
Are you friends now?
Yeah, grandpa, as we call
Oh,
him.
grandpa. With respect. Yes, it is. Fantastic bowler. Never have I ever used my star status to get something done.
I have.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is like government things?
Yeah.
Like getting your passport done faster.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there was even one time that I used Craig Braffett. I went for something and she was like, "Oh, you're the guy that's scoring all those runs." Craig was on a binge of just 100 after 100 and
Yeah.
she saw Brathwaite and she was like, "Oh, you're the guy scoring all those runs." And I was like, "I try."
Never have I ever seen a Shah Rukh Khan movie.
Yeah, I've never.
You haven't?
It's on my list of things to
Yeah.
do.
Never have I ever walked out of a movie because it was bad.
Yeah, never.
Not Shah Rukh Khan movies, for sure.
Plenty other movies. Yeah.
Other actors.
I think I walked out of this movie called Drona. I think it's an Abhishek Bachchan.
Okay, all right. Listen, we are friends everywhere. There's no need to elaborate. That's
Yeah.
fine. Never have I ever forgotten to wear my abdomen guard when I walked out to bat. Have you ever
Oh, I
gone
have.
without in a real proper
Yeah,
match, not a
in a
domestic game?
in a proper game. Yeah.
What do you say? Then what do you do?
You just stop and say, "I've forgotten my gun." You laugh about it. And you ask me.
We can't go over that. That's out of the ground. All right, cheers.
All right, many thanks to Cyrus Brocha. That was fun with Carlos Brathwaite and Robin Uthappa. Did you two ever forget that abdomen guard when you went out to bat?
Never.
Never. Like I said, you never had to bat much. Kach.
Never.
Never?
Never.
See, the bowlers know these things. They take care of these things. Batsmen,
There's always a checklist of what you do. Isn't it?
Yeah.
very thorough, both of you. Right, the poll that we asked you first up, the selection that Kolkata have made, 79% believe Harry Gurney is the right move in place of Lockie Ferguson. So that's something that you should support the KKR with. And you're going for Kolkata or Chennai. Those are the reactions. So get busy. Tell us what you make of it. Something tells me that Kolkata are under the pump now, so we'll see if they still have your backing. We've spoken of Kolkata's batting. What about Chennai's batting themselves? It looks like Dhoni is the lone sort of warrior in this number. Because you look at everybody else, we're looking at the contribution of percentage to team runs, and you have Dhoni contributing 22%. That's honestly something, Kartik, I didn't fathom at the start of this season with Watson and Rayudu, the sort of form he was. This has been A, refreshing for Dhoni personally, but B, maybe slightly concerning that the rest of the CSK batting aren't quite pulling their weight.
Yeah, that's why it's amazing, isn't it? When you look at them, when it was called the grandpa's team, it is. Yeah. You look at people, the way Harbhajan has been used, and then the lines of communication are clear. That's why they don't feel bad when they are left out. Otherwise, every cricketer wants to play.
Yep.
Somebody like a Watson has not been amongst runs. He's possibly, when you're not playing for your country, and that's one of the reasons why I asked AB what I did yesterday. I said, you're not razor sharp when you're not playing for your country because you're practicing day in, day out. So somebody like a Watson, not been in the best of form. Faf du Plessis has just come in and gotten runs. Ravindra Jadeja, all those guys. Kedar has contributed runs, but still, in spite of all of that, with Dhoni, the way he goes about things, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. So it is worrying because come the crucial time, you can't expect Dhoni to get runs every time.
Sure.
So you do want others also to contribute there.
There are two interesting numbers we've got for you. One is just Dhoni against pace and spin. You just have a look at how he's approached. And we saw in that game against Rajasthan, he's taking the spinners on, even though that might tell you it's going in a strike rate of 106. Factor a few small chases that CSK have had to do. He's taken the pacers on, in particular the Rajasthan one, striking at 140. So there is a change in approach. The other thing we'd like to show you is MS Dhoni against 140 plus deliveries. And that is what a lot of teams would want to try and throw at Dhoni. They try Jasprit Bumrah and whatnot, but a strike rate of under 100. Now, Teddy, looking at this bowling, there's a lot of spin in it.
There is.
And there's not much 140 plus.
I mean, Andre Russell, that's the thing that they're probably missing, his bowling. Getting him back up to bowling fast. I think his body's probably, it doesn't seem right for his bowling. So he's obviously missing, and Krishna bowls decent pace. But really, but Gurney doesn't. So that's probably what they're going to miss with the Dhoni factor. But obviously there's some spin there as well. Yeah. So they don't have an out-and-out strike quick bowler.
I'd be very curious to see Dhoni's approach to these spinners, because he took on Shreyas Gopal and Riyan Parag in that game against Rajasthan. Taking on Kuldeep, Sunil Narayan, what do you think his approach would be?
I think with Sunil Narayan, he'll be cautious. With Kuldeep Yadav, the fact that he knows, he sometimes mentors him while he's bowling, he might understand the way he operates. And under the cosh, Kuldeep Yadav, because of the fact that he's slower through the air, will be different. Piyush Chawla is again somebody he might target because it's a true surface. And also with these spinners, they know his hitting ability and the fact that Eden isn't the biggest ground.
I got a feeling they might use their spinners early to Watson and Faf.
Yeah, they did use Narayan to Watson a lot. He got Watson's wicket in the reverse game. Dhoni takes his time though, as we know. The first 10 balls, if you look at the lowest strike rate, you got Dhoni at number 2 only after Rayudu. Again, we keep in mind here that some of these chasers haven't been demanding much of a strike rate. But just keep that in your calculations too. All to go down to, if Chennai are given 180, if Dhoni has to go at 10 and over, 11 and over, then it would make this contest even more exciting in the second half, for which Chennai's bowlers need to bowl a lot better in the first half, because they have some issues bowling at the death. And we're just going to look at some numbers. Teddy, Dwayne Bravo's a big miss, but we're just having a look at, they used Mohit Sharma in just the one game at Mumbai. Shardul Thakur, 12s. Deepak Chahar finishes a lot of his overs in the power play. Who takes the responsibility of bowling at the death for Chennai?
To me, I still look at Deepak. I think he's for his progress as well as a bowler. I think just keep throwing him the ball to death. He's shown glimpses that he can do it. He can bowl some Yorkers and he can bowl nice heavy length as well. So he's certainly a guy that I would keep going to. I mean, he can go pear-shaped for anyone. Obviously, Kugelheim, I think, as well, has shown promise at the death, but he's not going to play.
If he's bowling well at the start, and that's where MS has used him, but now he's growing in confidence. Can you just tell him, because you're the bowler with confidence, let's bowl at the death, or is that asking too much of Deepak Chahar?
Yeah, I think because over the last couple of years, he's bowled most of his overs at the top, right? He swings it away, bowls at good length. So that's a tough one for Dhoni to get his head around. Do we save him for a couple of death?
I'm very curious to know your thoughts on potential use of spin at the death. We're looking at this team without Bravo.
It'll be tough. It'll be tough. They have to bring spin early on to somebody like an Andre Russell. But they've always relied on Bravo at the death. So that's going to be a bit of an issue right now. So I don't know how that's going to work.
What about Imran Tahir, who likes the challenge of bowling to Russell? How about you look at Imran Tahir and say, you know what,
he should be used early on, especially against Andre Russell. You don't give pace to Andre Russell early on. But this is a different track. If it spins, then you fancy your chances against Andre Russell. But if it doesn't,
they might have a choice. They might not. Some of the other guys, like the medium paces bowling at Russell, he might.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I'm thinking. Imagine Shardul Thakur bowling to Russell at the death, and maybe Deepak Chahar at the other end, or maybe Tahir to just change it up. Would you be tempted by that? Tahir bowling to Russell at the death.
He's still going to manage to hit Imran Tahir for a couple of sixes, I reckon.
He would.
Yeah.
He would. Because with Tahir, what happens is that he starts going faster and faster. If you start going faster and faster to Russell, you're going to go longer and longer. Longer and farther.
Oh, right. Okay, so that's something we'll have to keep an eye out on. Who does MS Dhoni trust with the responsibility of bowling at the death? In the last game, it was a no-brainer because he just ripped the top order out and Russell became half the force that he would be otherwise. Let's see how things go today. Fab 4 time. I hope Murali Kartik remembers his Fab 4 selections. Let's throw the rules for him. Both are experts will pick 4 players from today's game, and depending on how they perform, they get points in a fantasy style format. 30 runs get you bonus points, 50s and 100s as well. Each run gets you 1 point, and 20 points per wicket. 3 and 5 wicket hauls, as well as the best economy gives you bonus points. Fielding gets you points too, and of course the expert with the most points gets the daily prize. Sunil Narayan and Krishnan have already walked out. Who wants to go first?
Kartik.
Teddy wants Kartik to go
Okay.
first, so he has
Fab
4 less
four.
players to pick from.
Fab 4. I'll go
Let's
for
throw
Russell.
the teams up. Okay, Andre Russell.
Andre Russell, Imran Tahir. I'm going Faf du Plessis,
Okay, interesting.
and I will go for Kuldeep Yadav.
All right, interesting. Russell, Tahir, Faf, and Kuldeep.
Can I see
Teddy.
the team? Can we see the team?
Let's see the teams.
I mean, we know who's playing, but
Yeah,
here we are. Okay.
I know who you're going to go for first. You're going to go for Watson, aren't you?
Well, he's not. I want to go for Watto.
Okay, then don't.
Look, I'm going to go with Imran Tahir.
Okay, he's already gone with Tahir.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got to go MS.
Thanks for paying attention, Teddy. Well done. Yeah.
I'm going to go Dhoni,
All right.
and I'm going to go with Shane Watson.
Dhoni and Shane Watson, and from Kolkata.
I am going to go with Sunil Narayan,
Okay.
and I'm going to stick with Shubman Gill.
Wonderful. All right, that should make for a very interesting selection. 4 and 4. Thank you to Shantae and Murali Kartik. Get their thoughts at halftime. We'll also have a quick match update after 10 overs with one of the boys. For now, our attention on Kolkata Knight Riders, who've lost a toss. They would have ideally wanted to win. They're trying to upset Chennai at a ground where Chennai have been upset before. We'll see you again soon.